Hello, good morning, social media friends, audience members who are watching this live stream conversation from either very far or very close to myself and my co-host. And in the spirit of welcoming my co-host this morning, I'm going to try to practice my Spanish that I've been investing my time and energy to learn. So, bienvenido, feliz año nuevo, and hey, buenos dias a todos da. So, with all of that said, let me welcome my new co-host in this video podcast series that many of you have shared your time to pop in, comment on social media. I so appreciate that because I'm doing this with my co-host for the reason of giving to you information that benefits you with your real estate life events and, I don't know, things in general. So with all of that said, let's welcome my new co-host, Rick Batista, into the studio. But before we do, audience members, we got to give him a rip-roaring welcome. Like a rock star. So here we go. Hello, Rick. You getting jazzed up? Yep, I hope you are. Let's bring you into the studio, buddy. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing well. And you?
Good. Thank you for that intro, and apologize to you and everyone for the technical difficulties that caused a little bit of a delay. But
life is full of difficulties. It happens. It's how we overcome them.
Yeah.
Right on, right?
How's the new year treating you so far?
The new year has been treating me so far, I guess, good enough. We're only on day 2.
Yeah. A lot can happen in 2 days. So.
A lot can happen in 2 days. Day 1 was uneventful, right? Yeah. Day 2, I don't know. The sun is out for both of us, yeah. But Rick, it's effing cold.
a little nippy.
So to all of you, social media friends, personal friends of Rick, personal friends of mine who are watching and listening to us this morning, if you're in a warm climate, hey, we're jealous.
Yeah, good for you. Enjoy.
Yeah, good for you. We're jealous. But if you're stuck in the cold tundra, that's going to be with us for a little bit. At least it seems like the next 2 weeks. Well, hey, we got to survive this stuff.
I oddly enough saw a robin this morning.
Did you?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was interesting to see in January.
Yeah. So Rick, before we dive into the stuff that you and I can talk about all day long, not that we want to, but for a long period of time, let me first start off by saying I am so happy that you accepted my offer. I was hoping maybe I'd have to twist your arm a little bit more, but it didn't play out to be that way. So I'm so appreciative of you stepping up to saying, Bill, I'm going to do this with you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the opportunity. I really appreciate you reaching out to me. I was thinking of, this is a commitment that I can take on, and that I don't like to take on new clients unless I can actually give the service that I expect. So
absolutely,
I'm committed to the project here, and hopefully this episode and in the coming months we'll be able to provide some great information for everybody out there across Chicagoland who might be, I mean, everybody has to deal with housing, right? So
that's true. Everybody has to deal with housing.
Yeah.
It's either your own house, it's the house that you rent, or it's the house that you have to watch over because you got tenants.
Yeah. You're always paying something. You're always paying a mortgage, whether it's your own or somebody else's
mortgage. Right? So with that, getting you warmed up a little bit now, right, Rick? Let's ask you to lead us off with your dropping your professional mojo about what is going on with the real estate market here in Chicagoland. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so Chicago for many years now, I would say, has been pretty stable overall. We definitely saw some craziness during the pandemic, like pretty much any single town or city across the country. But even then, we weren't as insane as some of the markets. Prices did go up exponentially, but some of the other areas, like say Austin and parts of Florida and stuff, California, where prices shot up, the faster they shoot up and the greater they shoot up, then the harder they fall. In Chicago, we've been able to maintain some stability, and oftentimes people want things are exciting and stuff like that, but sometimes stable is a little bit better overall for the ecosystem of housing. Looking at the last couple of years, especially, it's been really hard to compare, data from 23 and 24 to 20, 21, 22. Certainly, it's because when did rates shoot up? Like they nearly doubled around May of 2022, I believe it was. And then since then, it's just been kind of people have been weathering the storm through the rest of 2022 and even last year. And some of us have been able to weather the storm fairly well. Some of us having better years than the previous, or even pretty much flat years for the last couple of years. But it's been a very interesting market overall. Even from all the economists I listen to and stuff like that, like they're always scratching their head. There's just we're always looking for the new norm, but there's just no new norm at all. But sales have been stable. Prices have been going up. It's been flat to minimal growth across the board. We're still seeing a lot of great interest. And as soon as things hit the market, even though we're seeing longer market times, days on market, we are still seeing properties that are priced right, especially going relatively quickly, asterisk on that, of course, with days on market. But, I think the biggest subject that we have to really deal with is the reality that housing affordability has been struggling.
Yeah, it has. With tight supply, there's only one thing that can, support that data. And it's the fact that, the cost of homes, the cost of real estate has gone up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that said, let's pause here for a minute. I'm going to put you on the spot. You and I get this question, I would say 9 times out of 10 throughout the day. And that is from some of our social media friends. If they have a real estate life event in front of them that they're thinking about, what should I do? What's the best advice we can drop and share with them, which is don't procrastinate. Let's get a conversation started. Is that usually the best approach?
Yeah. I mean, number one, shifting your perspective of, I don't know if you ever read the books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Which very interesting. I had to read that a couple of times to really appreciate it. But it's finding a solution. Don't say I can't afford it. Say how can I afford it? And it's just a different approach. It's with real estate. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market, which seems to be a challenge. For people to grasp.
Yes.
But it's I heard something recently that I think is really crucial in helping me shift my perspective a little bit. That certainly not knocking education as a whole or college education, but I think as parents, for those of us who are parents out there, we should really be focusing on what our kids' real estate plans are, more than what their college education plans are going to be. Because I think it's imperative that, young adults, especially in their 20s, try and purchase their first property, whether it's a home they're going to live in or investment property, because we know as the years go on, it could be a little bit more challenging to make that happen. Are you there, Bill?